This Sunday on Capital Connection, Illinois is one pen stroke away from raising the smoking age to 21.
We do know that 9 out of 10 people who are smoking right now started before the age of 18.
Plus, why women could soon see a bigger paycheck as a push for equal pay in the workplace passes the House. The bill's sponsor, Anna Moeller, joins us to explain.
So when you're basing future pay on prior wages, oftentimes you're carrying forward discriminatory pay practices.
And House Republicans dig in for a battle with Governor Pritzker over his proposed graduated or progressive income tax.
This is so funny as you talk about Republicans being rich compared to Democrats. This is Illinois.
And joining us on our Reporters Roundtable, Doug Finke with the State Journal-Register and Ryan Voiles with Health News Illinois. It's all coming up on Capital Connection.
From the Illinois State Capitol, this is your Capital Connection.
Welcome to Capital Connection. I'm Mark Maxwell. The State House was a frenzy of activity this week as House Democrats moved to approve several plans, some of which Governor Rauner previously vetoed. Now they could be heading back to Governor Pritzker's desk. Joining us to examine some of those bills, they were a big part of it, Representative Anna Moeller from the Elgin area, one of Chicago's suburbs, and Representative Carol Ammons from here in central Illinois in Urbana. Good to have you both with us.
Thank you.
One of the first bills I want to get right at was this wage equity bill, equal pay for equal work for men and women in the workplace.
Yes.
The State House passed this to Governor Rauner's desk last year. He vetoed it.
Correct.
Now you passed it again. Just for our audience, why? Governor Rauner said this wasn't as close to the one as passed in Massachusetts.
Right.
He wanted to see that. Now this is passing again. What's in the bill and how does it work for employees? What are they going to see differently the next time they apply for a job?
Sure. Well, as most of your viewers know, we still have a pay equity gap here in Illinois where women on average make 28% less than their male counterparts. And for women of color, the disparities are even greater. So we are trying to get at the systemic problems and conditions that create this gender wage gap. And the primary function of the bill that we passed yesterday is to prohibit employers from asking for prior wage information during the hiring process because prior wages may have been based on discriminatory pay practices, may be based on times when before a woman in particular had taken time off to raise a family or take care of her parents or family members and would be lower than those in the marketplace. So when you're basing future pay on prior wages, oftentimes you're carrying forward discriminatory pay practices. So that is aimed at ending that cycle of discrimination and basing pay on market value and worth in the workplace.
And this is always a constant struggle over wages and equity, and I know you were also supportive of this bill, but
yes.
Some of the critics of it, some of the people who questioned it and whether or not it would work, they said, well, like you mentioned, some people just make different choices. Some employees, men and women, sometimes choose, for example, men really can't or haven't much up to this time left the job to become a parent. They biologically don't have that function, so that interruption at the peak of a person's career, just as they're coming into their best years to make that foundation and build a higher wage, those two career tracks are different. So how does this bill address that issue, especially for young mothers?
I mean, I think as Anna just mentioned, that the important part is to establish an equal playing field. So whatever the industry will pay you to be an anchor should pay me to be an anchor with similar experience, right? That's what we need to get at in the pay equity and wage issue. I think this takes us further down the road. Does it solve all the problems of discriminatory practices in pay? Probably doesn't. But it definitely gets us further down the road so that we can address what's happening at the front door when you're applying for a job and you're looking for opportunity. And women, in many cases, are, as all of us have, because I have too, I have 3 children, we've had to leave the workplace and come back to the workplace. That shouldn't be penalized, right? It shouldn't result in less income because of that natural experience of between men and women.
So what happens to a hiring manager if they cross that line? What's the penalty?
There are penalties that are included in the legislation. There are penalties already that exist for paying women less than men for equal work. And this falls into the same category as a discriminatory pay practice.
Very interesting. I want to move on to something else, which was also passed through the House this week. It passed the Senate last year, so it may well get a favorable review there as well. But this is the idea that public schools should teach the role and contributions of LGBT members of our state and nation's history. This was a bill that you sponsored,
Yes.
and you drove this effort. It passed. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What is this going to look like for kids in school? And for parents who have concerns, what's your message to them about, some parents have cited religious objections to this. And I think some of the people who voted for it brought that up in the floor debate.
Right, and basically this is a very simple bill. It requires school districts to be honest about the history and the identities of people who have contributed to our society over time. It's about talking about artists and scientists and people who have contributed to our culture.
Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're back in a moment with two House Republicans with some ideas of their own. Stick around.